Hello and welcome back to this Unity tutorial. Today I will show you something about RayCasts. RayCasts are something like lines you can draw from anywhere. With these lines you can check if something is in the range of your game object. I want to show you how it works by this little example of a platform patrol. As you can see, now our little panda is falling off the edge. So how could he detect the edges of the platform? Let's get started. You see, our Panda has already some colliders and a rigid body and a Panda controller script. The script is nothing special, just a Panda moving right. So to change that, we go back to Unity and create an empty child GameObject. For better controlling, let's rename it to RayCast. So now we have an object right in the middle of our Panda. To see the object, we can add an icon in the scene view. You have to turn on gizmos to see these icons. After we can see it now, let's move it to the side of the Panda. That should be okay for now. Back to our Panda controller, we can now start coding. First, we need a method that can tell us if the Panda is leaving the platform. So I create a method with a bool return called checkPlayerLeavingPlatform. In this method, the RayCast magic happens. So we create an RayCast hit to D object called RayCast and getting these objects from physics2d.raycast. This method needs 3 input parameters. The first one is the source point. Our source point should be the empty GameObject we just created. So we need a serialized field GameObject. From this object we can get the transform and the position. So the second parameter is the direction of the RayCast. For this example we need a vector2 down, because we want to check if the platform is under the player. So last, it's the length of the RayCast. For this example it doesn't have to be so far, so we can set it to something like 2. So that's it, we built a RayCast. But yeah, it doesn't affect anything at the moment. So we have to check if the RayCast hits something. To get clear here, the RayCast has its own collider, which doesn't affect anything in your scene, but also can detect collisions. So to check if the collider exists, we can simply write raycast.collider. Then we also want to check if the collider hits the ground, or something else. So we add a compare tag check as well. If all checks are true, we are still good and the Panda is not leaving the platform. So we return false here. Otherwise, the Panda is leaving and we return true. So we can add this check now to our update method. When the method detects the leaving or our RayCast detects nothing else, we want the Panda to rotate on the y-axis. Back in Unity, we have to assign our empty GameObject to our script. You can do that by simply drag and drop the object to the script parameter. So let's see what happens in our game mode. You can see the Panda is rotating when our empty GameObject is just over the edge. You can play around with the position of the RayCast object to get some smoother feelings. What else can you do with RayCasts? Well, let me show you this little example. This fox has a RayCast to the left with a length of 1. When we start the game, we see that there are pandas coming from the left. Our fox is scared of the pandas, so when the panda comes too close to the fox begins to jump. So it doesn't matter if you are a fox or a panda, a RayCast can always show you what's nearby or in your range, and it can save your life. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, show us. If you don't, tell somebody you don't like. You may subscribe for more.